Hi, today I will be talking about soft summers. I was going to upload the soft autumn examples video, but I think it might be a better idea to make a joint video between the soft summer and the soft autumn examples. If you're new, I recommend watching my other videos on color before you watch this one. I will be inserting a card with the links, so just click on the information icon on this video. And if you wish to skip all of this process to know what's your season, you can hire me to be your personal stylist at cocostyling.com. One of my services being making custom color charts for my clients. And if you already know your season, you can also get my downloadable color palettes. Take into account that my holiday sale ends on the 25th, so if you want to get a discount, you should go to my site soon. If we take a look at the chart on one of my previous videos, you will remember that soft summers are cool and soft. That would mean that if you are a soft summer, you will look your best in soft and cool colors. If you saw my last video, you already know that with ethnic color seasons, just like soft autumns, soft summers can be pure or have either a light summer influence or a dark winter influence. Unfortunately, I don't have as many pictures as I would like to show you the difference between them. The issue is that there is a misconception about darker skinned people always being warm and sunny. Unless you have very deep dark brown skin, where the opposite happens, and they believe that they will always have a cool red undertone. Because of this, I have seen lots of darker skinned people editing their pictures to look warmer. This is why it is harder to find pictures of dark skinned people with cool undertones, unless they are very dark. And the other issue is that soft types have the lowest color tolerance, and the darker and warmer you are, the higher your color tolerance. All of this means that there are not that many dark-skinned soft summers, and it is even harder to find pictures of them since a lot of people tend to warm up their pictures, but I'm going to try my best. Let's talk about the features of a soft summer. Skin. Their skin ranges from dark brown to light skin, and their undertones will be either cool or neutral cool. There were some questions on the soft autumn video about having a darker skin tone on the dark skin range while being a soft season. So to explain that a little bit more, like I have said before, the darker and warmer you are, the more color you're able to handle. That would be your color tolerance. And the thing about soft seasons is that they have the lowest color tolerance out of all of the other seasons. Because of that, if you are warm and you also have darker skin, you will have a higher color tolerance than a regular soft autumn. And with soft summers, it is technically easier to find darker skin tones because they are cool, so they have a lower color tolerance. But I do say technically because it is way harder to find soft summers. Of course, I'm not going to say that it never happens, but it is very unusual. What basically makes the difference is that if you have darker skin, you're gonna need more contrast. If that is the case with you and you are warm, what can happen is that you might be a dark autumn, but your colors are muted. But you're not a soft autumn because you still need more contrast than soft autumns with a dark autumn undertone. That's confusing. If you have any questions, you can write them down below. I might have to write this part as a note so it's easier to understand. So moving on from that, if the same thing happens to you, but you have a cool undertone, it might be easier for you to wear soft summer colors because with a cool undertone, you have a lower color tolerance. But still, if you feel like you do need more contrast, you might be a dark winter, but your colors are muted. Eyes. Their eyes are usually cool toned. They can be lighter or darker, but they should be more on the muted side than on the bright side. The same thing happens with hair. They can have lighter hair or darker hair, but it will look a little bit more ashy. Now let's talk about their colors. If you take a look at a soft summer palette, you will notice that their colors will be soft and delicate. Think about a hazy landscape at dusk or dawn, but unlike soft autumns, instead of having that same landscape on a forest, you would have it at the beach with cooler colors instead of earthier colors. Characteristics of their colors. In order to have colors that do match your natural coloring, you need to look at three main things: temperature, value, and chroma. Hue or temperature. The temperature of your colors will range between cool and neutral cool, depending on your own undertone and how cool your features are. If you are neutral cool, you can borrow a few warm colors from the soft autumn palette. Value. Soft autumns have a medium value level. That would mean that the colors are not too dark nor too light. Soft summers don't need a lot of contrast. They look their best in color combinations that have a low to medium contrast level, and if you go too high, it will overpower you. Ethnic soft summers can have darker features that allows them to wear darker colors. Still, since they are soft, they can't go as dark as a dark winter without getting upstaged by their outfit. I feel like this is a very good indicator to see if you are a soft summer or a dark winter. Especially with dark skin, if wearing dark winter colors, even if they are muted, if they're too much for you, then you should look into the soft summer palette with the dark winter influence. And I do see how this is becoming a tongue twister, because it does take a little bit of time to understand it, but I really do hope it can be helpful. You might have to rewatch the videos or maybe even the whole series, but I promise you, wearing the right colors is completely worth it. And finally, we have chroma. The chroma level in your colors will depend on your saturation level. Pure soft summers have a very low saturation level. This would mean that their colors are very muted. Some ethnic soft summers have a slightly higher saturation level, but it won't be as high as the saturation level of a light summer. And now it's the time to make my note on contrast. If you have seen the videos for the clear types and the dark types, you already know that I've talked about how contrast works for dark-skinned people, but it was for high contrast types. This one is about low contrast types. If you have ever seen any information about color systems, you might have noticed that they say that soft and light types are for people who have low contrast levels. And that is true, but when you talk about darker skin tones, that is not necessarily the way it goes. If you have a darker skin tone, but you are on the lighter scale and you also have lighter features, that can apply to you. But you might be wondering what happens when you are on the darker scale, or what happens when you have a lighter skin tone and darker features. Maybe you have seen the black and white filter on pictures when other people talk about color systems. If you are on the lighter side of the dark skin spectrum, this can work for you, but it can be very confusing when you're talking about darker skin. You have probably heard this before, and you're not the only one. Every single stylist that I have seen, and even my teachers at university, have said this, and it is that when it comes to darker skin, our contrast level is higher because our eyes and our teeth are white, and it's lower when we don't have those features. To be honest, that doesn't make much sense, because anyone can whiten their teeth, and that would make their contrast level higher, or maybe they drink a lot of coffee or tea, and that would stain them. Also, you don't see people's teeth as much as you see their other features. Now, with the eyes. Sometimes the white of the eyes can turn a little bit yellow or a bit brown because of the melanin in the surface of the eyes. This is very common among people with a lot of melanin. And as people with darker skin, this is very common. These things can increase or decrease your contrast level, but most of the time it won't be enough to completely change your seasonal type. This is why when you have darker skin and dark eyes, looking at your saturation and brightness level might be a much better option to figure out your contrast level. How does this apply to people of color? If you have darker features, take a look at your saturation level. Is it very low, low, medium, or slightly bright? If it's low, you're probably a soft type. And if it's higher, but very bright colors are too much, you're probably a light type. And now to end my video, soft summers are able to wear soft and delicate colors, and their features blend with each other, giving them a very subtle look, so they need to wear colors that won't compete with their features. If this is your type, you should stay away from bright and warm colors. Basically, your opposite palette is the clear spring palette. Not all of the clear spring colors will look bad, but if you wear brighter colors, the brighter pastels from the light summer palette can serve as a dupe of your muted pastels, but still they shouldn't be too bright. That was it for today. I'm not sure about the date that I will be uploading the soft autumn and soft summer videos, because it has been really hard to find as many pictures as I would like to. So if you have any suggestions on people that you think might be soft summers or soft autumns, leave them below and I will try my best to find more examples. And if you enjoyed this video, you can like it and subscribe or share it if you found it interesting. I don't upload as often as I would like to, but if you want to get notified on my videos, you can click the notification bell. And if you want me to make you a custom color chart, you can go to cocostyling.com and book me as your personal stylist. Have a nice day, and I do hope to see you soon.